All right, so we are going to test out this saw. We got it converted to alcohol. You'll see I don't have an air filter on it or nothing. This is just a quick test run. Make sure everything's kosher and good to go. You know what I mean? I don't have the correct bar on it. I did convert it to I swapped it out. I took it up to a 10-pin sprocket, and this bar is not the correct kind of bar for a 10-pin. It takes a different kind of a bar, and it's to help keep the chain from trying to pop off. When you put a normal bar at a 10-pin in a 10-pin sprocket, you stand a higher chance of popping the chain off. You know what I mean? But I have a 10-pin bar. It's set up. It's on my 60, or not my 60, my 6 cube saw. But I want to set a new one up, basically customize another bar for this saw. Today's just a quick test to see if she can tune up and everything. You know what I mean? What else? I think that's about it. Just a real quick test here. See if we can get this thing to tune up and run, on alcohol now. Methanol, to be specific. And we'll see how she performs. I'm trying to get enough snot out of it to pull a 10-pin with authority. So, this could prove to be a challenge. And this is basically our first attempt. So are we going to nail our first attempt? You know what I mean? Let's see what happens. I'm going to try to cut some wood here. We might end up down here at my test logs, just because, let's put this guy over here. We're probably going to end up my test logs though, cutting some cookies, just because there's some tripping hazards here and stuff. We'll see how she goes. Now, getting this thing started is probably going to be the biggest pain. We'll see how that goes. I don't have the choke. Don't have a throttle lock or nothing. We're going to pull it, see how this goes. I might have to fool around with priming it, or I don't know. We'll see. It won't run. I just noticed I pinched the impulse. Hang on, I gotta fix it. All right, so she's lean is what you're seeing here. basically it starts out fine, and then a split second after it gets into the wood, it starts running low on fuel, and you know, she kind of leans out and lose power. That's why you're seeing it like hit the wood at 1 RPM, and as I go, it just kind of slows down. She's starving for fuel. Basically, I need to get more fuel flow at the metering lever, it looks like. And I'm probably gonna have to open it up more at the jets. The low speed is as rich as I can get it, and it's just barely enough to keep it idling. So we'll have to open her up a little bit more, I think. But we're getting close, and that's with a 10 pin. If this was on like a 7 or an 8 pin, it would probably actually pull it. It's just I'm looking for the power to pull that 10, you know what I mean? So yeah, she's getting there. Actually right now it feels like it has about the same amount of torque as it did on gas with the 8 pin, and I can tell that it's really lean right now. So once I get it right, this thing should be a pretty screaming animal. I think basically what the methanol is probably going to end up doing here in the end is give me about the same cutting RPM, maybe a little bit more, but give me the extra power that I can do it with a 10 pin. That's what I think is going to end up happening here in the end. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're getting closer. Yeah, I'm pretty happy there. It may not have looked like a great test, but it's actually pretty close. It just needs a little bit more fuel, you know what I mean? If I had just a tiny bit more fuel available, it would be running way better. It's pretty close. So I thought we were going to be fat whenever I first bench tuned it and everything, but of course once you put it in wood, you know, you never really know. So yeah, here we go. I mean, when I bench tuned it, everything seemed fat, but once you get her in wood and you get her up to full operating temperature, it all changes, you know. But hey, that's the way she is. I'm happy right now though. It does look like it's going to shape up and be a nice alcohol build. So we got a little bit more work to do, and basically once I get this thing eating enough fuel, if I feel like it needs more torque, then we go to expansion chamber, which I think we might end up going to an expansion chamber in the end. So prepare yourselves for that. I think we will end up with an expansion chamber in the end. She's just starving for fuel right now. I got to fix that, get this carburetor set up just right. It usually takes a few tries, you know what I mean? I've never nailed one the first time out of the gate. So, you know, just give me some time here, and this thing should be hauling butt, like really solid, hauling some serious butt. I think that's about it. Yeah. We'll catch you on the next one. All right, later.